Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER if you are a Pennsylvania resident, or call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY if you are a resident of New York. Please gamble responsibly. It's that time of the week again. Yes, this is for entertainment purposes only, but you do whatever you want with the picks that we're about to give you for the biggest games this weekend. All right, we're going to start off right with number 2 in the country as they kick off in just a few moments. They kick off at 3:30. This is the big game on WBNG here today. Ohio State versus Akron. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. I got my Ohio's messed up. We are starting with Ohio and Syracuse. We talked about it earlier in the A block. Ohio, a -18 dog. I'm going to go ahead and take the point. I don't think they're going to win outright, but that's a good team, and they always fight with Power Fives. They've beaten a few along the way. I'm taking the 18 points. Kevin?
I got to take the orange here. I know the spread is a little big, but my thought here is this new look orange offense, this new look team, that Fran Brown energy, they're going to want to bring the energy. They're not just going to want to win today. A win's not good enough for them. They're going to need to win big to set the tone for the season.
Like the pick?
And I'm going to have to go with the orange as well. I mean, Ohio had a good season last year, going 10-3. They do put against big Power 5, well, former Power 5 teams, but I don't know, a MAC team, I don't think they're going to be able to come in with Syracuse coming in with McCord, LaQuint Allen coming into his second year, and bringing in Zeed Haynes from Georgia. It's going to be too good of an offense. They won't be able to keep up with it.
All right, we got Syracuse over there. I'm on Ohio, and our producer, Aaron, as well, making picks. He is going to go ahead with Syracuse, so I am the odd man out. We'll move on to the next game. That's going to be Florida and Miami. Florida. No, I'm sorry. We are going Penn State. Penn State, I got my papers out of order. Don't worry. I've been trying to put my picks in myself here in between the commercial breaks before kickoff. So we're going to go Penn State, West Virginia. We talked about it again a little bit earlier. I like Penn State. I'm going to go ahead and lay the 8.5 points. I think they end up covering late. Probably be close all game. Fourth quarter, maybe get that 10 points. Kevin, what do you think?
I got to go with Penn State as well to cover. I think the key for them is going to be to get out to an early lead, quiet that noise in West Virginia, and then just hopefully smooth sailing the rest of the way.
And I'm going to go with Penn State as well. The thing with Penn State is they have a good offense. It depends how quick they get things going. Obviously, offensive line has some issues, but the Big 12 is notorious for not having the greatest defense in the nation. And last year, Penn State really just ran the ball all over them, and they won't be able to cover that spread.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, let's keep moving through these. We're going to go to the big game of the day on WBNG. That is Akron and Ohio State. This is a big number, -48.5. I don't think that Akron's got the firepower, though. I think Ohio State will show, especially with that 1-2 punch in the backfield. They're the best team in the country. I like Ohio State. I'll lay the 48.5. What do you think?
See, this is where we get a little tricky. Like you said, that 1-2 punch, one of the best backfields in the country. But at the same time, when you're playing a heavy underdog like this with that big of a spread, that 1-2 punch, they're just going to chew the clock. You know, they'll get a couple scores. They're just going to be running. I don't think they get quite to 48.5. Maybe, you know, Ohio State's going to win by 30-plus points. But the 48.5 just seems like a little much for me.
And Ohio State's obviously going to win this game. I think that they do cover the spread, because even if they get off to a quick lead, they decide to put in the backups. Your backup's still Julian Sayin, who transferred over, or flipped from Alabama to Ohio State. He was the #1 quarterback recruit coming in. So no matter what, you get to test it either with a 5-star quarterback. Will Howard gets his first shot in Ohio State, and that running back duo. Arkansas put up 70 the other night. Ohio State's going to cover.
All right, Kevin, you're the odd man out on this one, as our producer Aaron also on Ohio State. We move to an interstate matchup, a battle of the Sunshine State, Miami at Florida in the Swamp. Florida +2.5. Look, these two teams are pretty similar. Graham Mertz versus Cam Ward, I think a great quarterback matchup. And they're both fighting for the legacy that is what they used to be. Miami in the 80s, Florida in the 90s, and then in the 2000s. Both of these teams are trying to get back to that. And both of the coaches, whether it's Mario Cristobal or Billy Napier, are on the hot seat. This is year 3 for both of them. They need to go ahead and get a marquee win. I'm going to take the value. I like Florida +2.5. I will take the home dog. I think it's going to be hard for Miami to come in and beat them in the Swamp. Kevin?
Zach, this is where I'm going to have to disagree with you. I think this is going to be a Miami win, not just a cover. It's hard to cover when you get into the 2.5s per se. You know, you don't see a whole lot of 1 or 2 point games in college football. But I think Miami just stronger in the trenches, and that's what's going to matter in a close game like this.
I mean, Cam Ward coming in is a huge bonus for Miami. Great season at Washington State last year. I think it's too hard to go into the Swamp. First game of the year, you have a rivalry. Those fans are going to be loud. They're going to be crazy. I think it's too hard to go into the Swamp and take that win. I'm going to take Florida.
All right, awesome, awesome. And that's split right down the middle as Aaron is on Miami. We move to Clemson, Georgia. This one kicking off in Atlanta, but that's basically a home game for the Dogs. Minus 12.5. I like Georgia. I don't think Clemson is very much. Let's get through these real quick. What do you got?
For me, I am also going to have to agree with you here, Zach. It's got to be Georgia. The Dogs, just the stronger team.
And Kyle?
And it's going to have to be Georgia. The last time these teams faced off was in 2021. It was a 10-3 win for Georgia. Very different teams now. JT Daniels with Georgia back then. DJU was for Clemson. But I don't know if Cade Klubnik is that guy down at Clemson. Carson Beck's proved himself at Georgia, and Georgia's just too good of a team. They're going to win. Not by much, but they'll take the win.
Awesome, awesome. And we picked 2 more games as well. We picked USC versus LSU, as well Notre Dame, Texas. You can go ahead and find those picks on our WBNG website as well all season long. Stay tuned as our competition heats up between the 3 of us. As you see, our producer, Aaron, as well, the rest of the 12 sports team, Michael Villegas and Keith Savage, will be joining us with our picks. Plus, find us on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook to submit your picks. You tell us you think we're right, we're wrong, or see how you stack up against the competition. But that is going to wrap up the first edition of the Southern Tier Kickoff. I want to thank Kyle. I want to thank Kevin for being a part of it. I want to thank our producer and our director as well. And I want to thank you for joining us here on this Saturday morning. Kickoff coming up in about 15, 14, 13. That's right, the Big Ten right here on CBS. Get ready for it. Enjoy your Saturday, and we will see you next week.